What's the smartest way to test your daughter's boyfriend? I let him fail on his own. My daughter introduced me to her new boyfriend. I didn't say much. I just observed. He was polite, well-dressed, and had that practice charm some guys put on for parents. But I wasn't interested in the version of him he wanted me to see. I wanted to see the real him. Instead of giving him the typical dad talk, I decided to test him in a way he'd never expect. At dinner, I made a simple request. I asked him to help me move an old wooden cabinet in the garage. He smiled and said, "Of course, sir," but I caught that flicker of hesitation. The cabinet was heavy, awkward, and covered in dust. As we lifted it, I loosened my grip just enough to make it harder on him. Would he adjust and help, or let me struggle? That's when I saw it. He barely put in any effort. Instead of taking more weight, he shifted it back toward me. A test of strength? He failed, but I wasn't done yet. After we set the cabinet down, I thanked him and reached for a small screwdriver sitting on the nearby workbench. As I picked it up, I accidentally knocked a box of screws onto the floor. Hundreds of tiny metal pieces scattered everywhere. I waited. Would he kneel down and help me? Or would he pretend not to notice? He chuckled awkwardly, shoved his hands in his pockets, and said, "Man, that sucks." Then he pulled out his phone. A test of character? He failed. My daughter, watching from the doorway, didn't say anything, but I saw the shift in her expression. A week later, she broke up with him. "Dad," she said, "you didn't test his strength. You tested his willingness to help, and he failed twice." I just smiled and handed her the screwdriver. "Your turn to learn," I said, because the kind of man who ignores the little things will never be there when it really matters. Know someone who needs this lesson?